Welcome back, all my free thinkers. We're going to jump right into this one because we're about to look at some optics when it comes to ZBCN tokens. I seen this post over on X today, and I looked at it and I reposted it on my X. Make sure you follow me at Mr. Foresight64 because this is, and I put this in my post, this is a plausible situation. So, you guys know already that I lurk on a lot of different websites, but I lurk mainly on X, and I'm always looking for the people with the brightest minds, and they think out the box. And this is one right here. Make sure you give the, and I'm drop his information down below, guys. I'm Mr. Foresight, the name butcherer, so I'm about to butcher this name. I think it's either Deepak Mukram or Deepak Mukram. Either way, I'm sorry if you're watching this video, sir, but I butcher everybody's name. I'm going to post this down below, but we're going to look at the optics of this because he made this, dare I say, this is something that had me zoom out and say, because, I look at behavior, people's mentality and how they look at things. So we're going to take a look at what if ZBCN did a token split and they went from 100 billion, what they have now in tokens, similar to XRP, to just 10 billion. What would that do optic wise? We're going to look at that this particular episode. This is your first time here, guys. Do me a favor, smash that like button, give me a sub, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of these videos. I'm Mr. Foresight, and what I like to do is examine cryptocurrencies, especially at this time that we can get in at a decent price, and these are crypto based assets that are on a movement rather than a moment. So guys, we got one. So Zebec, we all know about Zebec now, guys. Everybody's probably in this ecosystem, the Grow Rich Grow Happy channel, except some of you. We're ZBCN believers mainly because of what they are doing, the disruption that they are in cryptocurrency. This is no different. So this is what he says. This is the smartest move for long-term growth. I'm saying, okay, I give people a chance. So he says ZBCN doesn't have a demand problem. It has a supply optics problem. 100 billion token supply automatically caps price potential, pushes away serious investors, and traps the project in a micro cap forever narrative, regardless of how strong the utility or roadmap is. And I said, wow, that's a big claim. So let's check a look at the optics, guys. So jump over here. Is that okay? So we jump over here right now. It's tanking. Zebec is currently tanking like everyone else, but we look at it as opportunity, right? Nothing changed. So we're looking at the optics. For those of you new, what he's talking about right here is this total supply, max supply right here. We got 100 billion. It's a lot of tokens. Now, what he means by optics, meaning if you used to come look at this, and when you look at some serious investors, like big money investors, some might look at this and say, that's kind of meme coinish, even though we know this is not a meme coin. Some can look at it like that, but others can say, well, it's no different than XRP right here. They have a max supply of 100 billion as well. So the two mirror each other. What's the big deal, right? Well, you see their treasury holding, but it's more than that. I think what he's trying to say is it gives it that a low seriousness look, not from people out there who know about Zebec, but from somebody who's knows a little bit about crypto. They get in, they say, I'm looking for something that doesn't have things like this right here, Shiba Inu, guys. This is in the trillions of token supply, which means you're going to have an exorbitant, you're going to need investors to come in and buy so many just for you to make a gain. I remember one time I was back when I didn't know a lot about crypto early, my first bull cycle. I was like, you can't tell me Shiba Inu is not going to $1. Man, did I not understand how difficult that is. Not to mention it's a meme coin. You guys know how I feel about meme coins. I don't care if it's number 34 on the list. I don't believe in things that don't have any inherent value at the bottom of them. A lot of people that are in this are gamblers. I would love for Shiba to come up. you know, even though I don't hold it anymore. But back to this at hand. But from an optics standpoint, let's look at something else. So you got a BNB. You see, they only have 200 million supply of their token. That's all it would ever be. And you see, you look at their price, optic wise, it looks like something that an investor would want to jump in. They say, oh, they got less tokens out there. Man, that gives me a leg up. Sort of like a Casper. Same thing, even though it's getting beat up right now. They only have 26 billion tokens that it would ever be, their total supply over here. That's all it would ever be. But then if you go a step further and you go over here to say, let's just say, I can do it here. Let's just say we go over here to Bitcoin. You're looking at 21 million, which is even more appetizing to someone like, say, myself, even Batenza Tau. 21 million, that's all it would ever be. So from an optic standpoint, if Zebec was, say, to drop from what it is now, 100, do a split, 100 billion, 10 to 1, meaning people who hold it, you would get 10 to 1 with your tokens right now. So say somebody who has like 2 million Zebec, you would get 200. If they did a split, you would get 200,000 tokens. But it would also push that price, let's just say, to 1 cent automatically. Optic wise, somebody looking at that and say they only got 10 billion, somebody looking at it from that standpoint and say, hey, it looks good. It looks, you know, for one, it puts you in that 1 cent range. But now you're looking at it like, you know, and I already have, like, say somebody out there, now you have 200,000 versus the 2 million you had. It just feels different. The market cap, keep this in mind, market cap wouldn't change at all. Market cap would stay the same. And the price would go to, let's just say, a penny. The market cap stays the same. So you're looking good. And it's cleaner. It looks a lot cleaner. But let's jump back over here, guys. Let's jump back over here. So he says, let me see if I covered a lot of this. Substantial long-term models, better price structure, a higher per token price attracts institutional attention and reduces volatility. And I agree a little bit with that because it gives it a premium price. Let's just say if they did a split like that. Not saying they are, and I'm not saying that. I'm not making this. I just seen this and I said, this is a different take on Zebec, one I haven't heard before. And I was like, what if they did do a token split? I'm going to tell you at the end what would hurt it though. So this right here, it looks cleaner, and plus things moving up in increments, let's just say from 1 penny to 2 cent or 3 cent, looks a damn lot better than it moving right now, getting to, because it's down below 203. Now it's below that, but let's just say now we go up to 204. Yes, that's up in a way, but it looks a lot better when you're in this range right here and you go from 1 cent to maybe 2 cent to 3 cent. You're closer to that dollar range that we're always talking about. So I do agree from an optics standpoint, a new investor coming in looking at this will say, oh, let me hurry up and get in this. And probably other institutional investors, hence big players, and they already have big players, but let's just say ones that people are looking at like out the realm of possibility. They could see it as an opportunity as well and come in and snatch up some more. Now, I don't know what Zebec is planning to do. Again, they are moving so fast that it wouldn't surprise me if something like this happened. I don't know why this person, Mr. Deep or Deepak, I don't know why they even thought of this, because I hadn't thought of this, but I like it. I do. I really like it because it wouldn't change anything. It would just change the optics. And I'm always telling you guys, it's all about what people think, all about how people view things. And if you change your appearance, and we see it in the world, if you change your appearance and you wear a suit or something versus clothes you used to wear, people look at you a little bit more serious. And when it comes to the same thing with price, people value things a lot of times based on price. A lot of serious investors stay away from meme coins. They just do. And when you get to seeing 100 billion, 200 billion, or God forbid, a trillion tokens, when it comes to some of these crypto projects, they take on more of that meme coin persona, and some people just don't like that. So, and I'm going to continue down. It says a 10 billion supply opens the door for meaningful price appreciation without needing impossible levels of liquidity. This move isn't about manipulating price. And that's the thing. It doesn't manipulate the price at all. It doesn't change anything. But from an outsider looking in, it does. It's about restoring balance to the token's economics and aligning ZBCN with the standards of top tier projects. Hence, he's talking about top tier projects like, let's go over here to the cryptocurrency. He's talked about top tier projects like those up in this range. If you notice, everything up here technically there's nothing that's below a penny in this top. When you look at this, just if you scroll down, there's nothing below a penny in it. But us us Zebanites out here, we still understand that it doesn't change anything at all as far as the overall value of Zebec, because we see where it's going. Again, if you really want to mirror it to something, you can look at an XRP, and they have 100 billion tokens that would ever be as well when it comes to XRP. And you see it hasn't hurt their future, but imagine if they did a stock split. Not saying that they are a reverse stock split, but here's the thing. I told you guys I would tell you also how this could, if that happened, there's a way it could hurt Zebec. And the only thing, and again, we're just talking hypotheticals. If a reverse stock split comes from, and I keep saying stock, but let's just say a reverse token split. If it's done, if it's done by a weak team, that would hurt things. Let's say, for instance, if Zebec's team was weak, and we already see they're not weak at all, so that takes that off the table. But if they did it more so out of desperation to get in more institutional investors or to get more people interested in the project, that could hurt things from an optics standpoint. But just based on what I'm seeing optic wise, and I'm trying to get you guys to look at this, again, the market's down right now. We need to be evaluating our projects and looking at them saying, wow, we're in a damn good project. Or we're not in a good project, and we should be looking at other things. But I'm looking at it from the totality of everything that I just discussed when it comes to Zebec. And I look at it and I say, from an optics thing, the only thing, if they was to do something like that, the only thing that could hurt it is the team. And I don't see them doing anything like that. Again, I saw this episode is something just to think about, guys. We can't get so caught up in our project that we can't zoom out and say, but what if they did this? What if they did this one thing? What if they was to do this reverse split and did 10 to 1? What would that do? What would that do for my portfolio? Short story, nothing. Optic wise, it could bring in a whole new crowd of retail investors, at least those who are interested in crypto, or just looking at crypto like a 1 cent price looks more enticing right now than 2 zeros and a 3, or 2 zeros and a 2. A 1 cent price, crazy, call it crazy, but it looks a little bit more appetizing. You guys let me know down below. What do you think? And for the brave out there, do you think at all that Zebec might do something like this in the future? I know that they be watching videos. I know that their team keep their ears to these crypto streets. So could this be something, a possibility out there? You guys let me know. Drop down below and let me know, guys. Are you picking up any more Zebec? Because we already know where it's going. We know what's going to happen. We know it's going to explode. And like one of the members of the Free Thinkers here said, 2 years, within 2 years, Zebec to $1, easy. Or even before that. You guys let me know. I'm out. My heart.